Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today, we are going to be doing another Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 Prestige class description. And today, from the Complete Warrior, we are going to be looking at... wrong page. Give me a sec. The Knight Protector. So, we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about what the Knight Protector is. We're going to be talking about what... it takes to become a Knight Protector. We're going to be talking about what you get as a Knight Protector. And then finally, we're going to be talking about, how good they are and how you could potentially use them in a build. So let's get into this. So the Knight Protector. Well, they are an order of martial characters, knights as you will, that very much believe in order. They see immorality everywhere, and they really don't like it. They long for a world, a much better and more morally just world, where honor reigns supreme. Honor is one of their key things for them. They very much believe in that, and that's really who they are. They believe in protecting others, helping those in need. They're very big on chivalry. Like, these guys are like they're your knights in shining armor. They protect people. That, like, the Knight Protector. That's literally what they are. They have very strong bonds to other Knight Protectors as well. Even though it's a loose organization, they have a strong reverence for each other. So a very interesting character concept. So let's talk about what it takes to become a Knight Protector. So, alright, there's a few things. First, you have to be either lawful good or neutral good. So pretty restrictive on alignments. Not as much as restrictive as like the Paladin, but still pretty restrictive, more than most. Base attack bonus +5. That's not too bad. Skills, 6 ranks diplomacy, and 4 ranks knowledge, nobility, and royalty, and 6 ranks in ride. Okay, that's not terrible. Now you also need feats. You need armor proficiency, which, of course, you can get that from basically any martial class, or heavy. So basically, you'll need like paladin or fighter, something that gets heavy armor proficiency. Those are the only ones. You can also just take the feat. At least the only ones like in the player's handbook. There's plenty others that get it. They also require the cleave, great cleave, mounted combat, and power attack feats. So it's a decent number of feats. Some of them are better than others, for sure. And that's really it. That's all that's required to be a Knight Protector. Fairly simple to get into for the most part. Some will argue that on the feats, but I don't think they're too bad personally. So that's it. So let's talk about what they get. All right. So first off, they get D10 hit dice. So that's good. They get a good base attack. That's good. They get a good will save, but a bad fort and reflex, which is kind of surprising. I would have expected higher fortitude on a class like this, but it is what it is. And they get 2+ int for skills, which isn't great. Skill list could be better too, but again, it is what it is. So let's talk about what else they get. So first off, they get tower shield proficiency, so that's cool. Not a lot of things get that, mostly just fighters. So if you weren't a fighter before, if you got into this with Paladin, well, now you have tower shield proficiency. It's not a bad option. Like, that much is good. So you also get defensive stance, starting at a +2. So basically, if there's someone who at the start of your turn is adjacent to you, you can give them 2 of your AC. So you subtract 2 AC from yourself, add 2 AC to them. It's really all there is to it, and that does go up to +5 by the time you finish this class out at 10th level. You get Shining Beacon, so that'll give you all your allies near you some bonuses on against like fear saves and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice. Although if you got in with Paladin, you probably already have better stuff than that. Then you're going to get Best Effort, which, I mean, that's kind of okay. Basically, Best Effort gives you up to originally a +2, but eventually like a +4 on one skill check once a day. So that's something. Yeah. So far it's kind of underwhelming. And it's going to stay that way for a little bit. So you get Iron Will at 2nd level, which is okay feat. Could be better. 3rd level you get Supreme Cleave, which isn't terrible. It's decent at dealing with hordes of enemies. The only other way I know to get that is with Frenzied Berserker, and that has a lot of issues that this doesn't. It also gains a ton of benefits that this doesn't, but that's a different matter for a different video. But yeah, that's something. They get No Mercy, which is actually pretty good. Basically, they just get 1 extra attack of opportunity, and then later 2. And this does stack with combat reflexes. So if you're upping your dexterity, like, you can get even more this way. So that's kind of nice. That one's actually pretty decent. Those other ones were kind of underpowered. This one's decent, but it also comes at a fairly high level. Then you get Retributive Attack, which is sort of like Smite. You get to add your charisma to attack, and then you get a +10 to damage. And you can do this a number of times per day, equal to your charisma bonus. So in terms of how many times you can do it per day, it's better than Smite. The big downside to it is it only works against creatures that have either incapacitated or made helpless, have either taken one of your party members and made them helpless or incapacitated. So if someone does that to your party, then you can do this to them. You have a decent amount of time to do it. I think you have like 2 days or something to actually go ahead and actually use this from when they did it. But yeah, you can use it on the same guy multiple times, just only once per round, and only as many times as your charisma bonus. Which the usage isn't bad. The problem with it is it only works if they're either knocked out, so the person was doing non-lethal damage, or made helpless. So like got tied up or something. It's not something that happens that often. So it's something you're not going to be able to use very often. Now, if this does happen, yeah, this ability becomes good. But it's also your capstone 10th level ability. So, yeah. Some other things that these guys get. So they get support from the order. So they get free lodging from the order and food and barding for their horse, and I think they even get a horse for free too. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and their code isn't too bad. Their code is, it's not particularly strict. It's fairly easy to do without too many issues. Much more lenient than the Paladin's code. So that's not too bad. The problem with this class is most of its abilities are underpowered. At least the early ones are really underpowered. The later ones are okay, but they're the later ones. Those ones are the ones that should be higher powered because you spent all these levels getting in. But no, the higher level ones are decent. If those higher level ones came at earlier levels, they'd be fine. And then you just had better ones come at the higher levels. This class might actually be decent. Or if it was just a 5-level prestige class and you started out, with all the stuff from 6th level and gained your way up to 10th, or maybe you gain things just twice as fast. It might be decent, but considering it takes 10 levels to get all this, not so much. Like, yeah, like if you got everything for 1st and 2nd level at 1st level, and then everything for 3rd and 4th, like it might not be bad. And under the right circumstances, this build can be okay. Like, I mean, they're okay at protecting things. There's not a lot of things that are as good in terms of letting you add your AC to somebody else's AC. You do have to subtract it. So if you're going up against a horde of low-level enemies that aren't much of a threat to you, but you're trying to protect, you're on an escort mission, and you're trying to protect some even lower level NPC that these bandits are a major threat to, yeah, that could actually come in really handy, giving that +5 AC to him. And it's something that you're not going to get in other classes and builds and stuff. unless you're allowing more obscure source books, like I think Shining North I think has something that's better, but it's like I'd never heard of that book until I was looking things up. Anyways, so there's a good chance a DM wouldn't allow that. On top of that, there are other ways to deal with things, but there are things that can be more prone to fail. So yeah. Also, anti-magic field. There are things that can work, but like a lot of like spells that could help with that. But if it happens to be in an anti-magic field, then I'm grasping at straws a little bit. It takes some pretty specific situations to make this good. Another potential maybe use would be a 1-level dip on a paladin who just wants to use a tower shield, and who also happens to already have all the feats that are prereqs. Because there's no reason to do that if you don't have all those. You just spend the feat. There's no if you have to spend feats in order to get into the class, the free bonus feat you get at first level it's not really worth it by any means. So it'd have to be very specifically a paladin that didn't start out as a fighter, because you could start out as a fighter and then just do it that way. Like do 1-level fighter and then go into paladin. Because the reason why you can't do it with fighter normally is if a paladin goes fighter, you can't go back to being paladin. Whereas you actually can with a Knight Protector. They do have a multi-classing note that allows paladins to go back into advancing as paladins. But yeah, this class isn't the best. I know I don't do this often, but this class could be a lot better. It's got some things that are okay, and it's got some interesting flavor. So if you're going for that, okay, cool. But just know it's not the best prestige class out there. If you want to take it, go for it. It's by no means broken. It's very much underpowered. It's better than the warrior, but let's be real, that's not saying much. So the warrior's not designed to be good. Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, that is the Knight Protector. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel for more videos. We do one on every single class, race, and prestige class in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. Ring that notification bell so you never miss out on a video. As always, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you.